Studio 10, and Joe Irish with Buckingham Strategic Wealth is here. First of all, I have to say, if the past couple of years has taught us anything, it's we really can't predict the future. We never know what's coming our way. That's
correct. And so you want to plan the best you can. And what COVID did is remind us all that having an emergency fund is a good thing.
Yes.
You know, the AmericanSaves.org says there's 50 items that you should save for that are under $500. And so all those things are common, like a flat tire, new air conditioner, and if you look at that list, you probably have had 5 or 6 of those things in the last 2 years, and so having some type of emergency savings fund is helpful. Start with the $500. We always talk to clients about having 3 to 6 months of your household income. And I know it's hard to get, but if you can work towards that, that's just a good thing to do.
That's what I was going to ask you, what our goal should be for that emergency savings fund, and then if we deplete it and use it, and maybe say on the flat tire, do we then hurry and replace it? How does that work?
So you want to replace it because you never know when that. Like I said, I had a flat tire 1 month. The next month I had to replace the air conditioner in my car. The next month we had a water heater go out. And
it's
so
always
it's
something.
Just back to back to back.
Right.
And so
if
you don't replenish it, where are you going to? You're going to probably charge that on some credit card that, you know, 19–20% interest. So just having $500 is in a savings fund is worth it.
Yeah, and you never know when you're going to have dip in employment as well.
That's
so
correct.
I think it could be helpful, a little cushion, so you're not feeling the anxiety of that as well.
Yeah, because if you get laid off or whatever, there's unemployment, but that takes a minute to get to you, and it may not be what you were making before. So having just a little bit of savings it goes a long way.
Now, when we're speaking of employment, how much should we contribute to a retirement fund?
Well, the first place to start is if your company does a match. You want to make sure you get that match because that's just kind of like free money.
Free, yeah.
The goal really should be to do 10 to 15% of your income.
Okay.
Again, it might take some time to do that, but at age 65, you want roughly about 10 times your earnings saved in order to retire. In order to get there, the math kind of works out to get 10 to 15% as soon as you can early on, because the longer you save, the better.
And we should start that now. I mean, it's not something that you want to think of 10 years before you're ready to retire.
No, you certainly should start it now because you can't
possibly accumulate. Right, exactly.
And even if you were saving $50 a month or $100 a month now, if you're in your 20s, it's going to pay off dividends. Now you can catch up, because maybe you're making more later, but it's hard to catch up for time.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Joe, what can we invest in if we don't have a company-sponsored retirement plan?
So there are some folks out there that they work for a company or they work for themselves that they can't, they don't have a plan. So they're like, what do I save? And they don't realize that they can actually set up an IRA, a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA to invest in. If you're self-employed, you have a few more options. You can do a SEP IRA, a simple IRA, and if you're solo employed, you can do actually what they call a solo 401k. And so those are different options that if you are, for whatever reason, your job doesn't have a plan to save, and you can still set those up and actually set it up where $50 comes out of your savings account per month to get those kind of the same type of path.
Auto, so you don't even have to think about it.
And auto is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like your 401k, you just don't, once you set it up, you really don't realize it's coming out. One of the things that we talk about too is, when you escalate, if you do an auto escalate at your office where every year it just automatically goes up 1%. You don't actually realize it, and then before you know it, you are at that 10 or 15%.
Which is great, because if you're not consciously thinking about it, it's almost like you said, you don't even notice it leaving.
You don't even notice it leaving. You're just paying yourself first is kind of what we talk about.
I like that. Now, if this is a little bit overwhelming for people and they're like, oh, I don't know which direction to go, where do people get more information if they want to contact you?
You can call us at 517-627-1412 or go to our website at prepareforretirement.com.
All right, Joe, thank you so much for coming by Studio 10.